Yeah, so my name is Dan Harden. Like I said before, I'm a front-end developer. I work at Zappos, maybe, but don't worry about it. So today we're going to be talking about HTML5 video APIs, or can I finally just uninstall Flash? Because really, why? Why? So we're not going to be talking about HTML5 really. This is JavaScript after all. So what I really want to talk about is doing kind of cool new things that maybe you wouldn't expect that JavaScript can do. Specifically, we're going to be using the webcam to do crazy, interesting vision things, or hopefully crazy, interesting vision things. So just a heads up, I have no idea what I'm doing with this.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so we're all learning together, right? I just kind of got into this just because it seemed like it was cool, and so we're all kind of learning different new exciting things, and if it breaks, we'll just work through it. But anyway, so just to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to talk about. So why would you even want to do this? Like, there's all kinds of different ways to use video already, so why would you want to do JavaScript for it? We're going to learn how to actually use the webcam, how to do crazy cool things with your video source, what actually is making all of this stuff work, and then some really good libraries, because we like to abstract things out with libraries. So yeah, first off, why? Like I said before, no plugins, so no Flash. You don't have to worry about people having like some crazy old version of like QuickTime or something. Platform independent should have a giant asterisk next to it. I think we all know that sometimes browsers don't support things that other browsers do, and it can be a little shaky. This stuff is very brand new. They're still hashing out all the different standards. So theoretically, one day this will all run on whatever browser on whatever device, but right now it's kind of in. And then finally, we should do it because we can and we love JavaScript, right? That's the idea. So anyway, yeah, like I said, it's bleeding edge. They're really still figuring this stuff out. This presentation will probably be no good in here, but we'll roll with it. It doesn't work in Internet Explorer. It is a moral story. They say IE11 is going to be amazing, but why are you laughing? I don't get it.
That's what they said about 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so the first thing we're going to talk about is a cool little thing called navigator.getUserMedia. GetUserMedia does kind of exactly what it sounds like. It gets you, the user, whoever's media device. In this case, a media device is something like a camera or a microphone. So yeah, that thing I just said. Here's the browser compatibility. Red is not compatible. So if you look at this little baby spot right here, these are browsers that this will actually work in. It'll work in the latest Chrome. It might work in the latest Firefox, but it will work in the latest Firefox nightly. So yeah, as you can see, I think IE, there it is, near future. Excited. So yeah, bleeding edge stuff, right? When you actually are using this thing, I should put this slide later, but whatever. It's not just like, you can't just load this function and then like spy on your users and they don't know, because that would be super creepy. They get a big old like allow or deny and it's really obvious that it's happening. So if you were planning on doing like some crazy voyeur websites, you need to do something. Maybe Flash, I don't know. Alright, so here's what it looks like. Takes in a couple things. There's an object of constraints. That's where you say like, oh, I want video and I want audio, and we'll be looking at this stuff a lot closer. A callback for when things work and when things don't work. So specifically, here's what the constraints look like. You can say, yeah, I want video, or yeah, I don't want audio, or whatever. It's very simple. That is the success callback. If the users have actually said like, allow to that big prompt, and they can actually play this stuff, and the stars align, and the networking works, and whatever. Then this will actually fire. This local media stream right here, that's actually part of the media stream API, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But you can actually think of that as the stream of the video. So say if you are trying to use someone's webcam, this will be like a binary object of the video. What you're going to generally do with it is you'll have an HTML video element, like the HTML5 video element, and you're going to be plugging this media stream into it. So rather than pointing to like an MP4 file or whatever kind of file, you're actually going to be plugging in this media stream. There's also the error callback. it's pretty basic stuff. So these are the 3 different kind of errors you can get. So the user said, nope, the browser can't do it. Or they said, you're requiring a camera and they don't have a camera or something. So pretty simple stuff. I think the one that you're going to see a lot right now is the not supported error, but whatever. So let's do examples. So I'm not sure how these are going to look on the screen, but it'll be fine. For the first one, I want to do something just really basic. I stole this from the Mozilla Developer Network. If you haven't been there, it's kind of like W3 Schools or one of those sites, but it's good. It's a really, really great resource for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all kinds of really cool stuff. So this is a whole big blob of text here, but we'll kind of take it bit by bit. So if you look at the top that you can, right here, that kind of works. It kind of looks like the bar coming to, whatever. So this is that prompt I was talking about, would let your users know that you're actually doing this. So we're going to go ahead and allow it. And theoretically, oh man, look at that. Hi. That's me. That's the side. That's so weird. I can see the side of my head.
That's
I don't like it. So anyway, no. Okay. So we'll kind of go through this bit by bit. Up here at the top is our HTML. The only thing that's really exciting is we have a video element, like I said. We've got a button to take the photo. We have a canvas element. Canvas is a really cool HTML thing where you can, it's kind of like a canvas. You can draw stuff, you can manipulate images. It's really neat, but not JavaScript. We also just have an image from place kitten. There's a kitten. So we're going to turn it into something, whatever. Mozilla, this code that they provided, it's very, very safe code. Unfortunately, a lot of this get user media stuff does have prefixes. So that means like the one for Firefox might have an MOZ in front of it. The one for WebKit browsers might have a WebKit in front of it. Ideally, one day they won't. And it'll just be, oh, you can just use get user media and it's great. But for now, you got to kind of deal with it.
Do they use the same exact API here?
Pretty much, yeah. Like there are minor differences. One of the interesting things is between Chrome and Firefox, they size the video different, just like from the get-go. The Chrome one's like 640 by 480, the Mozilla one's like some other crazy dimensions. They actually have a function here that sets the videos to the same dimensions. I'll just kind of get to the interesting bit of this, which is, these are the constraints I was talking about before. We want the video, we don't want the audio. Right here, and I'm sorry this looks awful in this resolution.
Can you control minus?
No, that's not bad. Eh. Why this guy's in charge. As you can see right here, so this is the stream object I was talking about. We're just kind of plugging it into the video tag. This bit right here is just accounting for different browser stuff. At the end of the day, what we're doing, just to kind of give you a high level, is we're getting this stream, this video, right there, and we're going to put it on this canvas object, and that happens right here. So this is literally just taking a screen from the video and placing it on the canvas, then replacing this image with that. So let me make this kind of big again so you can actually see it. If we hit the take photo button, it takes a photo. Oh boy. So that's kind of a neat way to, it's so goofy. It's got me like halfway moving, whatever. That's one very quick example. I'm rushing a little bit, but I want to show you the cool stuff. So here's another one by our very own Deshaun. In addition to just like getting the video data, you can do stuff to it. Especially if you plug it into a canvas, you can manipulate it like any other image. So you could say apply some kind of post-processing filter. You could, Instagram it and make it sepia tone or bloom or whatever you want to do with it. But this example, we're going to allow it. What we're doing is, oh my God, it's overlaid over it. What we're doing is we're actually taking the image, then adjusting the colors of the pixels to be more green. And this happens live. Like this is, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff to it via JavaScript. And it's surprisingly simple. So it is easy being green with JavaScript. And then Chrome crashed. Bleeding edge. We'll bring it back. So, yeah, modifying it, but there we go. So the bit where we're actually making the screen is right here. So if you take your video data and you put it into a canvas element, it actually has an array containing data for each and every pixel. So it'll have a value from 0 to 255 of each red, each green, each blue, and then a value for the opacity, so whether it's transparent or not. So in order to do something like make everything green, all you need to do is loop through this array of the pixel data and add or subtract things to the values. So if you had an initial value of 123 or something for your green pixel, you could add 100 to it, and now it's 223, which means it's much more green. And that's really basically all it's doing here. You could take this and do whatever you wanted to the image. This gives you a chance to do really cool image processing stuff, and it's really not that much code. So besides that, here's this other site I want to show. It's called Shiny Demos. I'm not going to go through it too much, but Shiny Demos was put together by Opera, one of the big, well not big, I guess, another browser. And I feel bad, I'm just trashing away browsers. But it's got some really great stuff. It shows off kind of the newer APIs. For example, this is one that uses Get User Media. It's a real-life color picker, so it will allow it. What it does is it will grab all of the different colors that it sees here, and it's doing this in a very similar way. It's looping through this pixel data and actually finding stuff. So you say, and create the palette, and it grabs all the different colors that were in this image. Kind of a neat thing. I don't know if it's practical, but it's neat. And that's true for a lot of these different things. What's another fun one? Let's do, about this one. The Warhol laser. It's kind of what you might expect that to be. Wow, video. Whatever. So, Shiny Demos. Let's bring back the thing that I just closed. Don't worry about it. Okay, so the big thing behind this all is called WebRTC. RTC stands for real-time communication. Yeah. It's also just, this stuff is a subset of it, but it's all like crazy bleeding edge. It's changing all the time, but it lets you do some really, really interesting things that you may not expect a web browser to be able to do. We've kind of seen audio and video streaming, but it can really do tons of different things. I want to focus on the video stuff because that's what this talk is about. But really quick, you can get the data that you're sending, so whatever the stream is, whether it's video or audio. It also handles the actual networking, so the network address translation, the kind of routing stuff behind that. It coordinates the signaling between people, signaling like the message passing between, like say if you wanted to do a peer-to-peer video thing, this will actually handle connecting all of that stuff together, and also handle like, can you do video, does your browser support video? There's like tons of different things you can do with WebRTC. There's a couple of different APIs. MediaStream is the one we've been working with. Get User Media is a part of that. There's also RTC Peer Connection, which is just a way of passing streams between users, and RTC Data Channel, which is a generic way of passing data. The kind of canon example is for like games. You could pass just any sort of data between different peers, let's say for an online RPG or something like that. There's like a ton of different things to it, and every time you read about it, it's got diagrams that look like this. And I don't know, there's like, it handles like making your video not jittery and like making it not go out and making your voice not have pops and gross, like it handles all those little network hiccups. But it's a huge hassle to work with, just kind of in its raw form. So don't worry, there's libraries. Kind of like how we've got jQuery for DOM manipulation and stuff like that. There's people have actually taken the time to extract a lot of this stuff out. One of them is WebRTC.io. It's a really good name for a WebRTC API. Instead of having, this where you're dealing with 18 million different calls to different servers and whatever, it looks more like this. So this is what you'd have in your HTML, just like a video. So in this example, this would be peer-to-peer video, like say video conferencing or Skype or something like that. You just got a video for your screen and a video for whatever's happening on the remote screen. On your local, your peer. All you're doing is connecting to your server. You're creating a stream, you're saying I want video, I don't want audio, and you're attaching it to that local element, and that's really it. On the server, you literally just, like require webrtc.io, and that's it. I'll show you kind of exactly what that looks like with another API called Simple WebRTC. It's very, very similar, but I want to actually kind of show you what that looks like. So bring up another JS fiddle here. And I'll just show you the code. We won't bother with the video yet, but we'll get there. So as you can see, two divs. We've got a local video div and a remote video div. And we're including this simple WebRTC JavaScript right here. In our actual JavaScript we're loading on the page, we're saying, oh, okay, the local element is this local video div, the remote element is this remote video div, and we want to ask for camera access, and then we should only do it when it's ready. This will join a room that I've named VegasJS, and this is like literally all the code that there is. I'll show you what that actually looks like when we do it. If you were to run this code, and I just threw it up on a page because it's a little bit easier to see. So we can go here, and it will load theoretically, or it'll load very slowly, maybe. Maybe one. We'll do this one.
Firewall here.
Yeah, so that's another interesting thing is I have, there we go, trying this stuff out, run into lots of wacky firewall issues. Oh, hey, it's video. So we don't have anyone else in this room right now. I'm going to attempt to join it on my phone. You know how I said that the platform independence was kind of shaky? We're going to try it out. So this is just a normal kind of Android phone. I've got Chrome on it. When I go to this page, I get a prompt right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's, oh, I could. Yeah. So it looks a lot like the one you get in your real browser, but it's on this, and this is the exact same page. Yeah. So I'm just going to allow it, and theoretically, this thing is now showing video, and it actually has this one on it. So if we scroll down here, this will very laggy, but we are actually video conferencing between my phone and this computer. So if you all were to join this page, not on the work in progress network, like at home or something, we could all be on here and we could be video chatting, we could share audio, we could share video. And it was literally like 3 lines of JavaScript next to this library. So it's surprising how fast you can get up and running with this stuff. Let me go back to wherever my presentation went. We'll just go here. So, oh, another interesting thing is you do get a little, with this library, you do get a cool little recording icon and the fab icon.
Oh.
Kind of nice. Like, a lot of things where there's tabs that are going crazy and they're playing audio and you don't know what's doing what. I appreciate stuff like that. It actually calls it out. So, where in the world did my presentation go? There it is. So, by the way, Reveal.js, really cool presentation library. Yeah, so this is the web page. The idea was everybody could join it, but networking, whatever. So the gist of this is, if you're going to use the webcam, you really only need Get User Media. It's very, very simple to just get a video on a page. If you're going to do something like peer-to-peer or something fancy like that, you probably want WebRTC, but you also probably don't want to do it yourself. Folks have already figured this out and written really cool libraries, so try those out. Just some really good resources, and I'll send out these slides so that people can get this stuff. Like I said, the MDN, Mozilla Developer Network, great documentation on this. This place right here, HTML5 Rocks, is an HTML5 demo place. Got got some great documentation. Shiny Demos was the one that had like the Andy Warhol demo. And this site right here, caniuse.com, is where I created the browser compatibility thing. It's a nice place to go if you want to figure out whether or not your browser actually supports these crazy new JavaScript APIs.
Is it one of those that just says yes or no?
I wish. I like those. But no, it's got that big graph and like in the red and whatever.
It's Tuesday and you're busy.
Yeah, like, what is the moon? Like, is it full or is it whatever? So, like I said, this stuff is changing all the time, and these libraries are also going to be changing all the time. So, look into them, keep up with them. It's a really exciting time to be doing JavaScript. That's about it.